All right, we are officially launching Power Hour today. It is April the 2nd. Hope everybody had a fantastic finish to the month. March was a crazy good month. So many new people coming on board. It was very, very, very good. So, day 92 of the year. So, we're already a quarter done, just like that. One quarter's done, three to go. So hopefully everybody is scooting along, and glad to see you all jumping on here for Power Hour. So first thing I want to do is I want to open it up for questions like we always do. And I hope y'all are bringing some good questions. I need some to key off of tonight. What do you got? I just got done with an hour and a half launch, so my brain's a little mush right now from that. But what questions do y'all have? What's working? What's not working? Was everybody extremely excited with how their month ended? Did I end up planning a dinner for San Antonio? I have been working on that. I was trying to see if we have enough. We're in that kind of weird spot on being able to do like a buffet type thing, and that's not going to work out. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to switch that over with the restaurant. I'm looking at Rio Cantina is what I'm looking for. That's on the Riverwalk. I should have some information nailed down tomorrow, and then I'll be able to share that with everybody on Thursday's Power Hour and a couple of other channels as well. So definitely stay on me on that. So I make sure I get that information out to everybody, but not nailed down yet. But we will. There's too many restaurants in San Antonio. We will find one that will work for us. So we're right there, kind of in that weird spot of not enough to do tickets to it, but more than a regular sit down. So still getting that figured out. Good question. All right. What else do we have on there? All right. So if the month didn't finish out perfectly for you, I want you to unmute yourself and tell me if it did or it didn't. Let's kick off with that.
Casey, I'll start. My month didn't end like I was planning for it to. So I have just been reviewing what I did last month and trying to determine what I need to adjust.
Nice. Very good. That's so smart. Let's start with that. That is exactly the right way to approach. That's the ultimate plan, do, review, adjust. We had a plan. You went out and did it. The month is ended. Let's review. Let's see what we need to do. Because if you keep doing the same thing, chances are you're going to have the same results. Now, the other side, what's interesting about this business is the time in between when you do something and when you see the results. A lot of times there's a lag in this business that messes with people. And because our cycle is we look at it month to month, that's what the numbers do. At the end of the month, they flush and we start again. A lot of times is that cycle that's in our head is going off of that month. And a lot of times the results don't come that fast. Sometimes they take longer than 30 days. Sometimes they take a whole lot shorter than 30 days. And so what you got to do is you got to take each individual seed that you plant and look at them independently. One seed you plant might turn around the next day where they literally join the next day, and the day after that you launch them, and the day after that they have a new business partner, and the day after that that new person gets launched, and the day after that you're like 5 days into this thing and they've already gotten somebody. So it's already completely duplicated the entire process and started its next cycle. Seeds do that sometimes. Sometimes you plant them, they germinate, boom, and they got another seed just like that fast. That's not common. Sometimes you can plant a seed, literally takes 9 months. I don't remember if it was you, Karen. Somebody had one that literally planted a long time ago, and then all of a sudden, was it you, Karen, that we were having that chat? How long was that you had planted to when it came back?
It was probably back in during the first summit back in October.
Yeah.
We first started there. He wasn't interested at all. The products were too high. And like Sunday night, he popped back in saying, "Hey, would like to get some more information, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah.
I've been watching you.
Yeah. So huge. That last sentence. I've been watching you.
Yeah.
I've been seeing what you've been doing. That's a seed that was planted that sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there. Literally
Yeah,
6
but wait, wait,
months.
wait. It didn't sit there. I kept sending him information and inviting him ever since October to attend presentations, attend events. So I have continued to drop information on him, but it wasn't until Sunday night that he said, "Hey, send me. I'm interested."
And that's the consistency that it takes. That's the consistency that you take. Once you plant the seed, you remember where you planted it. You keep coming back and putting some water on that. The water, the nurturing of that seed, that's what she did. She kept going back to it since October. 6 months. And then all of a sudden, hey, I'm interested. I am now peaked. We can move on to the next step.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making is that when you look at it from a 30-day cycle, if Karen based everything on October when she planted that seed and she didn't see the results at the end of October, she could say, this doesn't work. That's not how it works. That's not how this business works. That's how the computer calculates, but that's not how the seed planting and the seed growing journey goes. Every seed's different. Sometimes when you're learning, you hear more no's than yeses, and it can be discouraging. Guess I like being rejected. I keep going back for more. What that is that is having your mindset correct. That is having a why that is bigger than those no's. We'll do a little mindset about tonight. I want to talk about that because it's the beginning of the month and it's a good time for that. Getting your head screwed back on tight after you just finished a month. It's like, okay. And you'll notice that your months seem a whole lot longer now because you live like 4 and 5 different lifetimes each month now. Y'all remember when the months used to just fly by? Now it's like, oh my goodness gracious, especially if you're on the summit every night. And by the way, we are having that tonight. We're back in the saddle for those, so that's going to be good. Much rejoicing by Linda and William. They're very excited. I thought they were going to hunt me down last night. So on the mindset of this, when you start a month out, one of the things I want you to do is I want you to break your month down into smaller chunks. Think about the activity that the majority of you all were in the last couple of days of the month. Y'all were turning and burning, man. Y'all were making some things happen. If you go look back at the number of minutes spent on the phone and the amount of phone calls that you make on the last couple of days of the month, and then go look at it and see what you do the first week. If you would take a fourth of what you do in the last 3 days and spread that out, I promise you the end of this month will look a whole lot different than last month. You still got to plant the seeds. The seeds are still going to take as long as they're going to take to harvest. That is not up to you per se. It's up to that seed. Your thing is the planting. If you would plant more and if you would plant faster, you would have a much bigger harvest. Let's take Mr. Taylor, for example. He goes out and he plants 10 potatoes. Or he plants 1 million potatoes. The more you can plant, the more it's going to go. Same thing with Mr. Taylor. He ain't out there digging with a shovel and dropping one in each time. He's got an army of automation going to bat for him. Some of y'all are spending too much time on each seed in the beginning. Plant the seed and go. Some of you plant a seed and you go into the garden the next day and you keep looking at it and, put some water on it. I'm good with that. But you sit there and you start singing to it and you start, reading it poetry. And I mean, come on, it's going to do what it's going to do. You put the water on, it's getting the sunshine. Let's go. So if you would plant more of those instead of saying, oh, I planted so many the last couple of days, I'm going to take it easy for a couple of days. You're going to be at the exact same spot at the end of this month. So the seeds are going to do what they're going to do. Just plant more of them. Make sure you're following the system on the amount of time you should be spending in the beginning with planting those seeds. Instead of spending an hour with one person, spend 5 minutes with 12 people. Guess what? You'll have a 10 times yield on your crop when it comes in. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take. These are very special seeds we're planting here. Some of these seeds take a long time. You don't know. You just know that they're good seeds. So that's the big thing, is make sure you are getting after it. Now, how many of you feel that you've run out of people to talk to? Show of hands on that. Have you run out of people yet? Oh, y'all are good. That might be the first time that's happened with a group of this size that somebody didn't raise their hand. I am very proud of y'all of not raising your hand right there. That's pretty cool. Good. So you know what you need to do. You need to reach out to a lot more people. Is anybody having any specific problems with any of the steps? You feel like, excuse me, you feel like I'm really good at this part, but this part's just not working? Or is everybody completely cool? Oh, I'm hearing people. What you got?
Hey, Mr. Algius.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm having a problem with, you pique their interest, you get them to agree to talk to someone, and then you get them on a three-way message to start the process, and then all of a sudden they don't want to talk to you. They block you and all this stuff. And then others, they say they'll do it, but then they never respond back. And I guess that's just part of the process. You're going to go through people who say they'll do something and not do it.
There's two sides of that. Yes, that's absolutely going to be the case. You are going to run into people that are that way. But before you bail too early, review how you're doing the actual edification. If you do the edification, and here's the deal, you can do it so perfect and you're still going to have dum-dums that are just not going, they just know everything, and that's okay.
Right.
But look at it and make sure that there is nothing better that you could have done on the edification. The edification, a lot of people treat it just kind of like they just don't give it its due. They don't push it like they should. They just make it be, okay, it's just a transition. It's just passing the ball. No, it's edifying the leader and then passing the ball. Right. And the edification part of it sometimes is lacking. You want that to be like, they're getting ready to meet Elon Musk, Tony Robbins, and, Mother Teresa all at the same time.
Right. And
I think everybody's edification, not everybody, a lot of people's edification can be improved. Make it, and you don't have to type it out every time, because I'm cool with the automation part of it, just copy and pasting. Right. But make sure that what you're copying, the source of that is solid, good. Make it over the top exciting for the person that they're like, holy crap, I'm getting ready to meet somebody. And then throw in a little bit of and don't dare miss this conversation with this guy. When Mr. Davenport and Mr. Bradford came into Houston, man, the people I was talking to, I was pre-qualifying the people that my people were wanting to bring in. I'm like, you make sure this guy knows who he's getting ready to sit down with. Okay? Make sure that they're there early. Make sure they're dressed appropriately. Make sure they know that this is not to be trifled with. This is a big deal. And then then what that does is it's going to weed out the people for sure that this isn't for, and it's going to make sure that the people that do come are interested. And I will tell you, every single person that came to that are in the business now. They might not have signed up that day, but over the last couple of weeks, every single one of them is in the business now.
Okay.
That edification was so strong. So make sure now, is that always going to be the case? No. You can edify somebody perfectly and they're still going to be a dum-dum and not do what they say they're going to do. That's just people. That's okay.
Right.
So review that and don't just dismiss it right off the bat that they're just, not everybody's going to do this thing. I'm okay with that.
Okay. And also on the customer side,
I've
a couple of my buddies that I've been talking to that have had issues with health issues and prostate cancer and stuff like that. You know, I add them and tag them, and you know, with the Wellness Simplified and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, I just kind of reach out to them every couple of days just to kind of follow up and see where they're at, if they're interested in checking, you know, looking more into it or what. So, and I get it, life happens and stuff like that. But, you know, a couple of days will go by and I'll say, hey, did you get a chance to check out the rest of that information? You know, did you see those things that I tagged you on? You know, stuff like that. You know, they just, no response.
Yeah. When you're saying that, one of the things that will happen sometimes is popping in my head is they'll feel like they might be feeling like they're getting sold to.
Okay.
Not saying that's the case, just saying review that too. You know the situation, you know who you're talking to, and go back and see, is that a possibility? Are they feeling like they're being sold to? Do they still feel that this is about them? And the way you can verify that is go straight to it. And I'm very blunt with people. I'm going to ask them straight off. It's like, look, hey, all of a sudden you were interested in this thing, and now you treat me like I got the plague. Last I checked, we were buddies, and I was trying to help you on something. Is everything good? Give them an out. Is everything good, or did life happen? Oh, life happened, you know, and then you got them back engaged. You got them back on the front burner.
Right. Okay.
Something that I saw posted today, made its rounds, was talking about the 25% rule. Somebody's going to lose about 25% of their excitement every day this goes by. You go 4 days without this being in their head, you got to start all over again.
Right.
And that's a really good metric to be able to take a look at. If it's been a while for them hearing from it or talking about, you're going to have to start that process again, most likely with them. You want to keep this moving with them as much as you can. But yeah, it might fall off, and then you got to start and build it back up again, and kind of requalify and start the whole process one more time.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The biggest takeaway I'd say on that, just say it another way, is make sure you keep that personal touch with them. The process is there. I want everybody to be keenly aware of the process and make sure they're following, but I also want them to be high touch. Not just high tech. I want everybody to remember it's not a robot doing this. It's why there are certain parts of this that you got to have that personal interaction. I don't think it'll ever be the case where it's, you know, every single time solely being done automated. You still got to have that personal touch, in my opinion. I might be old school in that field, but that's my opinion, is you got to make sure you keep that high touch with them, because this is relationship marketing. This is the people business. If it wasn't, then they would just, you know, go out and do everything on Amazon. And that's not the case. People still want to come in, look and touch and feel and talk to somebody.
Right. And I do that, you know, I say, how you're doing, you know, I ask them how they're doing first before, and then wait for a response. And then I'll follow it up with I'm curious about if they've had a chance to look at the information. So
Good stuff.
Right.
Sarah, you said I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Sarah, you said you're having a problem with rapport. What's the problem?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I know.
Hey, while you're talking, do you mind turning your video off right now for your bandwidth, just so I can hear you better?
Okay. How is that?
We'll see if it's better. Go ahead.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, a lot better.
Okay. So I have a feeling that I'm building either too much rapport with these people, or I'm like, I really don't know where I'm going with like my form, because I ask them about their family, I ask them about their job, you know, what they're looking into, if they have motivation, money issues, or anything like that, or is their family sick? And then I get to these points, but the only thing is either they don't give me enough information, or they give me enough, but then they go on to a different subject, and I feel lost in trying to do two conversations at once.
Yep. Yeah, you can get two threads going in the same chat channel, and it gets a little weird. Like you're having one conversation, they're having another, and it gets out of whack sometimes when you're doing that back and forth. Two things I was thinking of as you were saying that. One is, when they tell you their thing, you don't have to pounce right then. You've got the information, and then you just kind of keep that in reserves until the conversation runs its natural course. And once it's wrapping up and you guys are kind of finishing up, you can just say, hey, by the way, before I let you go, I remember what you said there earlier about wealth, health, time, or beauty, or whichever one they gave you an indication on. Hey, were you just mentioning that, or is that really something that you're trying to square away, to sort out? And then see if it's their thing.
Okay.
And if they say, no, I really do want to take care of it. That way you're not trying to just immediately hear what they say and then boom, let me tell you about my thing. You save it till the end, because otherwise you got more conversation in there and then it's kind of weird. And then, maybe the conversation's not done. They start asking questions and you can't say, well, hey, I got to go now. That's going to be weird. So you got to get enough out of them from the rapport side and listen. And then you want to strategically set yourself up so that when you're getting ready to do the peak, it's at the end. You always want to be in a hurry when it's time to attempt to pique their interest. You don't want to have all the time in the world. You don't want to start the conversation off with that. And then you got 20 minutes on a conversation. You're like, okay, what am I going to, I guess I got to answer all their questions. Then that's going to get weird. So when you get that from them, revalidate that at the end and say, hey, I got to get running. But before I do, I just got to ask you, you mentioned that thing earlier in the conversation that you're dealing with. And then we kind of, we talk about all kinds of stuff. And it's been really good talking with you today. I really enjoy our chat. Do those things in there and mean it. Be sincere. You're learning about another human being. And hopefully it's somebody that's meaningful to you, or you wouldn't be, trying to help them unless you're just doing it for you. And I know that's not the case either. So be able to have that chat and then at the end say, hey, before I go, did you really want to fix that, or were you just bumping your gums?
Okay.
Were you just venting? And we'll find out. And they might I'm just bumping my gums. Okay, that's cool. They might say, why? Well, if it's not something that's serious to you, I don't even want to waste your time with this. Like I said, I got to go. Well, now their curiosity is like, well, what, I'm kind of, I said it, I mentioned it. Yeah. It's not like, it's the worst thing in the world, but it's something I wouldn't mind fixing. I got to get Susie to school. I kind of meant that. And I'm not really sure I'm going to do it. And then it starts becoming more important to them because you're kind of holding back and they're like, what do you got? I got something I think that could fix that for you. I just, if you're not interested, you're probably not going to want to talk to this guy, but I got a guy that could absolutely fix that for you. I mean, this guy's done it with hundreds of people. So, but no worries, no worries. Take it away from them, When's the fish want the bait? Not when it's sitting there in front of them. It's got to be moving away. Then it's fear of loss. Then they go for it.
Okay.
That make sense?
Awesome. Yes, I'm going to take a whole bunch of notes now.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So the big takeaway for everybody on that for your notes is when it's time to peak, make sure you're strategically doing it at the end of the conversation. Or make sure your conversation is going to be short. Here's a way you can do that. It's a little technique you can do. Maybe you have that conversation and maybe you really have to go and you don't even have time to do that. It's like, I've got to go. But hey, can I call you later? Yeah, about what? I'll tell you. I just got to touch on a point that you mentioned. Can I call you in about 40 minutes? I got a meeting I got to go to. Yeah, sure. They're sitting there for 40 minutes going, what in the heck are they? I mean, they're curious, man. It's killing them. It's like a movie trailer and you got to wait till the next Star Wars comes out or the next Marvel comes out or whatever. They give you just enough that it's like, oh, come on, I want more, And there's a part to play with that. And then you call them back and you say, hey, real quick, I had a break in my day. I only got about 2 minutes to talk real fast, but were you serious about what you said to me earlier about such and such? Yeah. Why? Woo, piqued interest. Because I got a guy that can fix that. I need you to get on a phone call. If I put you on a phone with him, would you talk to him? This dude is a machine, man. I mean, he's helped a lot of people fix your problem. Would you be interested in talking to him? Yes or no? Nah. Okay, cool. Hey, good luck with that, man. I hope you get it squared away. I really do. If you change your mind, let me know. I'll get you in touch with this guy. I got to go. You already told him you had to go when you started the conversation. You only had 2 minutes. And stick with it. Don't you dare tell somebody you got 2 minutes and then stay on the phone with them for 4.5 or 10 or 20 or 50. Okay?
Okay.
Cool.
I also wanted to let you know I ended up piquing a possible employee actually at my job. We're actually in the hiring process, but he literally got an interview. And for some reason, I was like mentioning, if you're looking into other income, mainly because his parents are sick and are needing of something else. And also, but then for some reason I was going on about Miles and all, his family, and then I came around to, I was like, yeah, he's, got 16 family members of, brand new paid off cars and everything. And light bulb went off, and he's like, really? They have paid cars? And so now he's going to be talking to Miles here in about 30 minutes.
Way to go. Look at that. Congratulations. You were very aware of what was going on and you pulled it off. That's excellent.
Trying.
You're not trying, you're doing. Change those words right there. That's giving you an out. You are doing it.
Okay,
Honestly, change those words. It will make a big, big difference.
Sounds good.
Yes, absolutely. Proud of you. That's fantastic. Great job. Great job. Great job. There was another question in here. Let's see here. I'm keeping a list of people to talk to. That's perfect, Rosalie. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. That is good. Another question. Placement of new business partners with a new leg. How deep do you go in your first leg? Question is from when looking at Paygate. Okay, so question that was submitted to me is discussion around when to start your second leg. So you got a first leg going, you're putting people in. It's like, okay, I got to start this second leg. When am I going to do this? So what you can do on that, here's the best thing that I probably got as advice on that. I actually got it from David Nieves because I was building a leg and it was going and going and going. I was like, good Lord, I know I got to start the next one, but when do I do that? And then it's okay. And when we had 3 legs, when we had to do that just to get to Sapphire, it was like, okay, I got to get this third leg going. When do I do that? The best thing I can tell you is a lot of people will build that first leg with friends and family. And you want to keep that unit together, okay? The other thing that I want you to balance that off with, and there's no perfect answer on this one, by the way, not that I've ever heard, is you want to balance that off with your team needs to see you go through the ranks. You got to put the oxygen mask on you as well. If you're in an airplane, cabin loses pressure, you're traveling with small children or whatever, however the little phrases go, what do they say? When the oxygen mask appears, put it on the small person next to you first, and then after that, put it on yours. No, that ain't going to work because they ain't going to be able to take care of it. You're going to pass out. You didn't have any oxygen, and then nobody's going to make it. So what do? You put it on you first. You're the leader in your group. And so your team needs to see you keep moving. They need to see you moving up. They need to see somebody they know make it through this comp plan so that their belief level goes up. That's a huge form of belief. They did it. If they can do it, I can do it. I've known this person for a long time. If they can hit that, I can hit that. That's why you'll see somebody pop a rank, and next month you'll see 10 more people pop the same rank. They say, oh, she did it. Heck, it's possible we can do this thing. So you only need one story to go. When you get one story, then you get 10 more stories. You get 10 stories, then you get 100 stories. You just need that first one to go run the 4-minute mile. After that, everybody can run the 4-minute mile. So with that said, you got to balance that. Now, the next thing is you don't want to break apart a unit of people. You don't want to break apart some really close, tight friends. Okay? That one trumps the oxygen mask, in my opinion. I will miss a rank to keep a group together that is a very tight-knit group. That's me personally. Everybody's got their different ways of doing that, but that's mine. I'm going to ask Mr. Spencer Wynn his opinion here so y'all can hear another leader talk about what they do from a placement perspective. And there's no wrong answer on this thing, by the way, either. You do what you need to be able to do. But I look at it of I will miss my own personal rank if I have to place somebody and I have that control there in my holding tank. I place this person over here. I go up a rank. I place this person here. I keep a unit together. I'll hit the rank next month, is my opinion. Mr. Wynn, what do you say? Putting him on the spot. Thought he had a night off. Got you unmuted, sir. He might be on another call too, by the way. Mr. Wynn, are you there? I think he's on the call maybe. I saw him talking a second ago. We'll grab him in a second and see what he has to say on that. So that's one of the key things is make sure you are moving yourself along in the comp plan, but not at the expense of breaking a really tight-knit group apart. Hopefully that answers that question. If not, feel free to unmute or send me another note. Let me reread that too. How deep do you go? So as far as keeping them balanced, the other part of that question was looking at it from pay gate perspective too. Once those first two questions have been answered, people are saying, well, where do you place somebody? What I typically do is I'll place them into my weakest leg constantly. I'll keep putting them in that weakest leg with the hope that that weak leg will become my strongest leg. So you're going to have one leg that's going to be bigger than the other one. It's just going to happen, okay? And you have some part to play in that, but it's going to do what it's going to do. You could keep putting people in and people in and people in, and they don't do anything, don't do anything, don't do anything. You put one person over here and you start the second leg, and then boom, that thing blows up, and it becomes the power leg. And that's okay. That's completely cool. You want that to happen, by the way. You want your smaller leg to outpace and take over one of the other legs. For one, it breeds a little competition, and that's always fun, especially if it's in your organization. But most importantly on that is that lets you know that, hey, this thing is working and it is duplicating. Now go over and you start sparking up the smallest of your legs and try to get that one to take over. Especially if you sponsor a lot of people, that's one of the things I've looked at. I've sponsored, I think I'm 49 or 50 people that I've sponsored into the business. And so when I put them somewhere, I'm going to keep putting them into that smaller area. When I do decide what leg I'm going to put it in, then what I do is I go down to the deepest part of the leg that I can to be able to help as many people as possible in that organization. So first I make sure I put it into the leg I needed it. If this person isn't tied to anybody, it's a brand new person, I'm going to put them into that weakest leg, and I'm going to go as deep as I can to help as many people as I possibly can. And then after that, that's usually enough for me to make a determination of where they need to go. No problem, Mr. Wynn. If it works and you can get back in there, feel free to interrupt me and tell me your thoughts. All right. Let's see what else we got for questions. These are good questions. I appreciate these. What's the next question we've got? Everybody's business is doing awesome. No questions. And that could be the case too. I don't have a problem with that. I am good with, hey, I know what I need to be doing right now. I'm listening to see if there's anything new I get out of this tonight. Any questions?
Casey, can I ask a question?
Please.
So you hear a few weeks back, or maybe it was a week ago, you went through and talked about the percentages of the pay gate. So in other words, if a individual below you got the pay gate 1, you got the pay gate 2, and the percentages is rolled, does it roll where it combines the 5 and 7, or does it roll such that if you have a pay gate 1 and a pay gate 2, the pay gate 1 takes the majority of that percentage, such that on your pay gate 2, you're only getting whatever is left over percentage-wise?
You were good up until that last statement, and then it got a little fuzzy on how it works. So let me pull up. I don't have that. I wrote it out because I was just looking at it myself, but my 2.5-year-old got a hold of my papers and rearranged everything for me. So it's in here somewhere, but I'm not going to spend time looking on it. So I think it's 4%, and then I think it's 7%. And 8%. You know what? I'm going to show everybody where it's at. I'm going to go get it myself. Stand by. And we're not going to guess. Bear with me one second. So I'm going to pull up the back office. And then I'm going to go into downloads. And then we'll go to the compensation plan detail. And then this 18-page document, you go to pay gates. All right. That was close. All right. So 5% for pay gate 1. 7%, 8%, 7%, 6%. All right, so those are our first 5 pay gates. All right, and then that's a percentage that's going to come out of that. So let me use their example to get an idea here. Let's use pay gate 4. So if you go through this and you look at number A right here, and let's say that they hit pay gate 4, okay? And this person also gets pay gate 4, this person gets pay gate 4, and this person gets pay gate 4. Let's say all the yellows get that. So what I was saying is that this first one down here on the bottom is going to get the percentage of pay gate 4 on all the people underneath of them, plus their own personal volume. Okay. The next person up this chain is going to be this fella here, the second yellow box. They're going to get pay gate 4 on these blue ones here, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. They're not going to get it on this yellow one because this one on the bottom got the pay gate 4 for all of that. So when you said that roll part, John, that's where you kind of got off on it. So ask that question again, and let me see if I can tidy that up for you.
So I can't point to it, but the lower level that you just went to, that first one that met that pay gate 4, I understand that they're going to make whatever that pay gate 4 equals to on what's below them.
Yep.
But when it rolls to the next person above them,
yep,
is the percentage?
It's still,
I guess,
so the person above, it goes up to the next person that hit pay gate 4. So let's say that this person gets pay gate 4. Let's say this person gets pay gate 3. Let's say this person gets pay gate 3 and this person gets pay gate 4.
Okay.
It starts from the bottom and it works its way up. Okay. So this person here has so much volume that got them to pay gate 4. And they're going to get 7% on all that volume down below them.
Okay.
This person right here is pay gate 3. So they're not going to get anything. This person right here is not going to get it above them. It's just from them on down. So this person doesn't get pay gate 4. This person didn't get pay gate 4. This person didn't get pay gate 4. That one didn't, but this one did. So that person at the top at pay gate 4 is going to get it on all of those people plus themselves, plus this guy.
Okay, so let's say that your first 4 down there was the pay gate 3, but you did get the pay gate 4.
And you're at the top?
Yes. What is the percentage that the 4 is going to gain, not including the one that met pay gate 3 at the bottom? So what percentage will that be?
I think I see what's happening right here. Let me redraw this out for you. So these are the percentages here. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what's going to happen is it's going to start off at pay gate 1, and it's going to go through and figure out, and pay gate 1 pays 5%. Then the computer's done with that, and that's going to be based on all the volume. Let's say you had, what's a good number? You had, I don't know, 10,000 CV or something like that. Whatever the number is, I don't remember off the top of my head. Let's say you had 10,000 CV. There's going to be a payout. That's from you on down. There's going to be somebody that's going to get, there's going to be 5% of that number is going to get paid out. That's going to be what, $500? There's going to be $500 that's going to be paid out to pay gate 1 to somebody in this, from this organization down, that makes up this 10,000 CV. There's going to be 7% that's also going to be paid out. There's going to be 8% that's also going to be paid out. There's 7% that's also going to be paid out. And then there's going to be 6% that's also going to be paid out. It's just a matter of how is that going to get distributed. In this example, let's say that this was all the people that were in the organization, and we got a 3, the 2s, this one is a 3. Okay, so if all of that is the case, Pay gate 3, pay gate 1 is going to be by this guy. They're going to get 5% on those numbers. The pay gate for 3 on down, let's say they had 8,000 points in there. Okay. The pay gate 2 is also going to be by this guy. The pay gate 3 is also going to be by this guy. The pay gate 4 is going to be by this guy. They're going to get all set. They're going to get to 7% because they're the first one from the bottom up that hit pay gate 4. This guy was the first one to pay gate 3, so they're going to get the 8% on that pass. Did that flip it in your head any?
Yep.
Okay. That clear now?
Crystal.
Nice. You are not somebody I want to play poker with, John. Because I can't tell by looking. Heck of a good question, though. All right. I'm on a roll. Let's keep them going. These are good questions. Ms. Hartwell, how are you doing in Amarillo? You're muted.
We're good. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm working on just following up with somebody. I have someone that has gone through an inoculation and is just waiting to enroll as a business partner. So as soon as that goes down, just waiting on people, I guess, is our deal.
And when that happens, the key off of that is make sure you got a way to keep up with everybody.
Yeah.
You need a system to keep up with everybody. I'm not one that's going to tell you got to do it this way. That's just a tool. You get to pick the tools that work best for you. But you do need a tool that you can use. This is going to run out of steam really quick. The written, it's going to run out really quick. You need to get something good to be able to keep up with that. And electronic is really good. But you got to make sure it's not too heavy also.
Karen shared a spreadsheet with me that she uses, and so that's what I've been using.
Hers is great. Hers is absolutely great. Now, if spreadsheets give you the willies, and some people feel that way, then there's another thing that you can use. It's called MindMup, MindMup.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful application. It's free, so the price is right. It hooks into your Google account, which makes it nice, too, for all the people that are using the right software in the world. And it's very powerful. We use it in my leadership group, and you can do a lot of good stuff with it. You can show hierarchical organization, and so you can have you and you can have all your prospects listed out underneath of it. It's a really neat application. And then underneath each of those, you can say where you're at in the process. The same way that I do the launches, where you have the array of people going across, and then you say which of the 3 steps you're at. You can keep up with them each time. It's called MindMup. I'll show you a quick example. We got time. You look at it through a browser. What's a good example that I can use? So MindMup is the name of it. So you can come in here and you can have your prospects, and then you can come around and you can list out all your prospects and where they're at in the process. So you can go through, and that makes it really, really, really powerful. And you can keep up with your people and see where you're at with them. You can separate it into prospects and suspects. Suspects might be people that, I'm not really sure. Maybe I just ran into somebody. You can separate it like that if you want to, or you can keep them all together in one. It makes it really, really nice. So if I want to go off and start a new one, you can literally start with and then you literally hit enter, and it will, when you have it selected, you can insert a child node underneath of it, and then you can say Al, Bob, Chuck, Dave, Ed. So there's my list. And then I can go underneath Bob, and I can put a child underneath that, and I can say built rapport like some money. And Bob can have, whoops. And then I can keep up with where I'm at in the process. And if you don't like it laid out that way, you can come in here and you can do map theme and make it be top-down standard, and then it flips it over that way. Maybe your brain works better that way. That's how mine works. So that's why I picked that one. So this is a very cool to set it up. It's really not that hard, but I am not going to sit there and train everybody on how to do that. You can simply go out to MindMup, and then you can look on how to hook this in to Google. It's literally, it takes like 2 clicks and just follow the instructions on it. It's just I hadn't done it in a long time, so I don't remember how to explain that out right now. But that's a really cool way of being able to keep up with who you got and what's going on. And then you can get real crazy if you want, and you can actually map your whole organization if you want to get really goofy. Or a leg of your organization to see what's going on. And then you can do some really cool stuff with it. And this is how big it'll scale. And then you can zoom way out and be able to see a whole organization. So these are all people in a leg. And it's not everybody, it's these are the people that are doing some stuff. And then you can find certain key points in this thing. So as your business scales, this thing will scale with it, and it'll go. And I haven't found the max to it yet. It's pretty cool. So that's MindMup. Fun little tidbit there for the advanced kids in the class. All right, let's see here. When someone is added and tagged in Wellness Simplified or DFY system, will they get notifications every time somebody comments on those 2 Facebook groups? No, but they will every time somebody in that thread inside of Wellness Simplified comments on something. They will get a notification. So they're following a thread when they are added to that thread. And that's actually a good thing. If somebody doesn't want to do that, they can absolutely take themselves out of the group. But what it does is it automatically drips on them. If you've tagged somebody, maybe let's say using diabetes as an example, if somebody has got diabetes and you tag them on a post that has that's talking about diabetes and they're in there, and then somebody comes back and tags them, that's going to pop up in their feed and say, hey, such and such added a comment to that. And then somebody will go in there and say, oh, yeah, I saw that one. It keeps it on the top of their head. Or they go, I'm sick of seeing these, and if anybody's got, their Facebook nailed down that much, then they need to get a hobby or something. So you can just let those notifications go by too. Some people get freaked out by them, but that's okay. So anyway, that answers that. With it being Autism Awareness Day, is there anyone we know that has a testimony on it? I looked at Wellness Simplified, and I don't know which one to use. There used to be a video out there of a guy named Dr. Edwards. Is it still out there, Karen?
It's not on Wellness Simplified, but if you you can find it out there. I think it's in YouTube.
It's still out on YouTube? Because I was looking for it the other day, and I couldn't find it anymore. So
yeah, it's out there. I just used it last week.
Cool. And what's good on doing that, it's not as good as Wellness Simplified, obviously, but I don't think that was a Team Fusion member, but it was a chiropractic doctor, and it's one, heck, I've used that one a lot. I actually used to show it during my presentations. It was so impactful to talk about the power of sunrise. So absolutely, for anybody with autism, I highly recommend they try. Not saying, again, please be careful, especially with this group of people with what they're dealing with and going through with a family member that's got that issue. Please be very careful in your wording. This does not cure anything. It just, let's see what it does for them, because I've had some major blowback from people getting really up in arms saying that blueberry juice is not going to heal my kid. I'm like, whoa, somebody got attached to the victim side of this thing because it's brutal and it's tough, and I get it. And it's unfortunate, but be careful about that and make sure you use the appropriate terminology. Don't know what it's going to do. Let's find out. Yeah, Dr. Edwards with an S, I believe. I think it's plural. All right, Karen, yes, they will. They will go in and click to not get notification, but it has them getting them on default. Yes, perfect. All right. Any other questions for tonight? Yes, Miss Virginia. I got you on mute.
Yeah. Is there a direct link? I tried to get quite a few customers on the potato pack, and everyone that I sent to my website came back with a text back to me and said, is there a direct link to go to the potato pack donation?
Yep. The easiest way is if you go into your enrollment and you go to link generator in your back office. So again, at the top, under there's shop, then there's enrollment, there's link generator. And then it's going to pre-populate your ID. And you can do this for people on your team, by the way, also. That's why they let you put this in here. And then you can go to your product and you can go down to potato pack. 45 servings. And then you copy that link.
Copy link.
Copy, paste, and send. And it's going to home run them. It's going to log in. And if all goes well, it takes you right to where they need to go. And then they can just add it to their cart and they're good to go. You can do that for, I think, literally anything in the back office. That's a really good way for customer service. The other thing is, go here, hit add to cart.
Okay.
And then after that, go to checkout.
Okay.
And then when you get here, you go ahead and set it up on auto ship for them. And then you go to absolutely. And then when you get here, you pick this little thing up right here and you go, hey, John, hey, I'm at the checkout page. You trust me getting your information? I'll go ahead and get this thing done for you. You don't have to click on a link. You don't have to do anything. I just need a little bit of information.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. What's your first name, John? All right. Got it. All right. What's your last name? Got it. So just go through that.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. All right. Any other questions? I got you, Virginia. All right. If nothing else, then we are going to call it a night. I'm going to unmute the line so everybody can say good night, and then we will get ready for our respective accountability calls for Power Hour or for the summit. All right. Thank you all for joining, and see y'all next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
All right, everybody.
Okay, bye-bye.